my name is Aksik, aka Annika, and welcome to my channel. Super happy to see you here. And today we are carrying on with my long-suffering series of all my colored pages and whips, provided I still have the book, which I haven't mentioned in the previous videos because I have given away some books and they just wouldn't be possible to be shown anymore. Anyways, today we are in the second part of my smaller or irregular sized books. So I'm going to get that desk a bit cleaner here. And let's see which one will we start with. Okay, why not? Let's start with 1 Million Christmas Cats. Which is a really fun book, and I have to admit, not really my book. I really enjoy the art in it, but I enjoy looking at it more than I enjoy coloring it. Maybe it's to do with all those endless patterns, but I do enjoy this page hugely. It's, you know, the polar bears fishing and this two cats disguised as a polar bear. Love the concept, and there's some lovely sparkle here and everything, but those jumpers and scarves were driving me nuts. The patterns, they took way longer than they really should have, because I had to color these patterns, because I guess I'm slow at patterns, and you know, any page that has loads of kind of a patterning like this takes me absolute ages. You know, I've started this one, haven't really gotten with it anywhere. I don't think I have too much here. I do love the art and I will give it another chance, but you know, obviously I will give that chance around, you know, winter or Christmas time again. This is acrylic markers mostly, with some felt tip pen and pencil on top as well, and then gel pens, of course, because sparkle, one needs to sparkle. Oh, nothing to really, kind of a slightly boring, not really my page. So yeah, there's like humorous and fun art that I just don't know how to color, or color well, or find my own way in this book. But I do really like it, so I don't really want to give it up. You know, here I've started doing this spread with all of those ice skating cats, and it's just fun and funny and lovely, and I keep it mainly because I like it as a book. And also anything water-based for me, you know, even water-based markers, just sinks through the paper. I've seen other people saying it doesn't. I don't know why. Am I somehow too, you know, kind of slow or heavy-handed or whatever? But yeah, it's really love the book, don't really love working in it. Then this book is one of the books that I really love and isn't that easy to find. It's only on a specific website. It's not usually on sale on anywhere like Amazon. This is the website you can find it on. It's fairymag.com, Fairy Magazine, and the price isn't super high, but you know, I think it's pretty much only sold there. At least I haven't seen it anywhere else. The paper is fantastic. The format is lovely. It's kind of a not quite square. It's slightly elongated, but almost square. Let me see, you know, what do I have? Anything that is kind of a compare? Okay, I have mythographic here. Okay, you can see, you all know what mythographic format is. So you can kind of see the size of it, how it's kind of a longer here and shorter there. The paper is fantastic. It is stitch bound. It's fairly, you know, substantial. Not very big, but still substantial. And not kind of like teeny tiny. Paper is lovely and allows pretty much any media. Obviously not alcohol markers, because it has double-sided art in it, and it has work of several artists, which I kind of love. It's kind of a compilation book. It's Rennie Taylor is the first, really like her art, and this one is done pretty much mostly with watercolor. I think there's pencils in her skin, watercolor as well, but you know, extra pencils, like to kind of emphasize the features a bit more. But there's mostly watercolors here, and then a little bit pencil here as well. I can see, you know, from the shine. And then there's mostly watercolor and some stickles, you know, just to give it extra oomph. I wanted that fairy to be very fancy. And, you know, super easy, fairly fast page. Really enjoyed doing it. And, you know, she has loads of, you know, interesting... oh, and this one isn't watercolor going through. I have a marker. Some of my acrylic paint, kind of glitter markers, actually go through the paper if there's no pencil underneath. So this is obviously just put on the watercolor, and they have gone through, you know, the ones that I've kind of used to outline certain areas, and they have gone slightly through, but these can easily, you know, on this page be disguised, not a problem at all. But such a beautiful artwork, very enjoyable. You can be nice and loose with watercolors here. I would probably go maybe slightly airier and lighter than I did this one. Then again, it's me, so I probably won't, because I like like my pages fairly vibrant and kind of a heavy almost. Yeah, beautiful art. And then there's Corey Godby, whose art I think might be almost my favorite here, although it is heavily grayscale, and I'm kind of trying to figure out how to color this, because, you know, it's so much gray and black, but I'm pretty sure I can, even with watercolors, you know, disguise the black a bit. But the art itself is just so me. It's 100% what I absolutely admire and adore. So I will definitely be trying. Like, I just love this. Look at this. You know, she's a bit, you know, more gritty than your pretty, super cute, typical fantasy book heroine. And I just love it. You know, interesting looking creatures, interesting looking people who have, you know, characteristic features. Excuse me, sip of water. Really dry mouth today. So yeah, I would love to do more here, and I will. And this book is one of these that you don't have to put huge amount of shading and work into it. Just give it some color and some layers with watercolor, and even that will be absolutely sufficient. Okay, the next one is Stephanie Lowe, whom probably is the best known to us from the artists here, and we all know her art. But the pages here, some of them aren't as messy and complicated and hard to understand like in some of her books. So I actually think, you know, if you're kind of a Stephanie Lowe beginner type of a thing, this book would be a good place to start, because you can still tell what is what. But the artwork is, of course, stunning. Here I've started this page. I mainly was just testing the paper, I think, because that's not actually one of the favorite pages of hers here. I really like this one, but I wasn't sure about the color scheme, you know, what I would do. So I was just, okay, I'm going to test the paper for different stuff here. So the background is gouache, and it's not the most successful one, but yeah, it's gouache and I think silver watercolor, silver metallic watercolor. So yeah, that's, and then there's quite a lot of her pages. If you want a flip through of, you know, that book or any of the books I'm showing today, let me know. I'll do it, not a problem. So Ruth Sanderson, who is not actually her art, although very, very cute, and I can see doing some of it, you know, under certain circumstances, is not my favorite of them. And also, you know, there's like a lot of kind of a heavy black line, but in this case, it kind of feels too much black, and I can't see myself being able to fight it as well as I would like to. And there's another one, although I do love this page with Corgi carrying the fairy. Kind of need to do that, don't I? But this winter fairy is just stunning. So there are some that I really am a fan of. And there's Charles Vess, whose art is also, you know, one of my favorites here. In some ways reminds me quite a lot of Stephanie Law, but with less of a fiddly bits. Beautiful flowing lines, elegant, understated line art. So yeah, love that book. You know, if you want any flip throughs, I'm trying not to get too long, but I kind of tend to carry on, don't I? Actually, no, I'm going to take somewhat bigger books first. So maybe that one. So that's Crystal Vogels, Ausschmalreise, der Wellwunschene Wald. Okay, what did I do? No idea. But this is, I think, her first coloring book. Pretty sure it's her first. And I'm also pretty sure that this one was still stitch bound. I'm not sure if the new ones are, but this one is definitely stitch bound. And I've done one page here. The artwork is very cute, kind of it feels very vintage for me. Kind of like old kids books illustrations. And maybe I'm not 100% sure if I did the right thing buying it. I like often the kind of those little humorous side images more than kind of the scenes. I don't know even why, but like I kind of want to color this girl hugging the mouse now, just on its own. This is what I feel like. And I think this book is supposed to be kind of like springtime. Let me see. I'm gonna actually stick that on here. Kind of, if I feel like doing something, this should be it. And really cute, beautiful art, but it might be smidge too cute for me sometimes. Not sure. The paper takes watercolor. You can see everything goes through. You can use watercolor here, but the paper doesn't love it. Essentially, that's what I'm saying. So even if you use like water-based markers, you can see this is just water-based marker, and they have gone through. Like I can't really color that image anymore. Not that I mind so much, but yeah, it's mostly for pencil work only, or you know, very careful application of watercolor, or you use heavily diluted gouache or something like that. That does never go through the paper, or acrylic paint or something like this. I do enjoy the images. They're fun, they're humorous. Here there's watercolor and water-based markers, and there's pencils on top and some glittery paints here. You can see those, I don't know if you can, those flowers, the dandelions. I also gave them a bit of a kind of a fine glitter finish, so they would be extra puffy and fancy looking. So yeah, cute book. Not 100% sure how much I'm going to be working here, but I'll see. You know, I'll keep it for a while, and maybe I'll get a second wind with it. Next one is the word on the magnifying glass, and this is on land, and this is by Rita Berman, a book we all know and love. Her art and me, we have this I admire her art a lot. I think it's fantastic. The paper is fantastic. It takes water, it takes pencils, it takes water-based markers. It's very, very good. The art is beautiful. I find it sometimes a bit, as you've heard before, if you've been here before, I sometimes struggle with kind of more ornamental and very detailed coloring. But I do like her style a lot. So I do kind of try to go back to her. I did, when I started, I had another book of her, which I'm now given away. I think it was the autumn book, and I had quite a lot of pages in there. But I just decided at some stage that I wasn't coloring it anymore, so I gave it away. This is, I think it might be the only spread I have here. And this is done with, I think I had this thing that I stuck to only Brudfunner, the really old Brudfunner, the first ones that came out, the really cheap ones that didn't have captains or anything. They came in plastic, kind of a suitcase, little clipped suitcase type of a thing. And I decided I'm going to do a page with only these. And it was a mistake, because I did not realize that if I want some area dark, I need to put on the darkest tones absolutely the first, put the black or something on first. Because once I had put different tone variations down, I couldn't get here darker. The pencil paper, even though it's a very good paper, just wouldn't take anymore, and the pencils wouldn't layer anymore. It was just sliding around. So there's no contrast here, which kind of annoys me, because it could be actually, the honey itself and everything isn't really colored badly. It's just a really strong lack of contrast. And this one just went bad. I used something to try and disguise lines, and my head I was going to color on top of that material. It might have been ink or something, but the pencils just wouldn't go on top of it, so it just looks like absolute mess. Although, kind of from the distance, it looks interesting, but it's absolute mess. And yeah, I should have sprayed them, like on pages like this, especially, if you see already that, the pencil isn't clinging to that material very well, because it's worse now than it used to be, okay? It used to be a bit better. But I'd say over the years, it just, kept crumbling off the pencil from here. So if you're not sure like this, just spray the page to keep it in the same condition as it is. There's like several pages here that I've shown here. There's like, it used to look better. I know it did. I have photos. Yeah, there's lovely art here, which, I might go back again. One of the reasons being that there's a lot of kind of a simple, relaxed pages here as well. That would be great to just, kind of a quick win. And at the same time, there's a lot of kind of elaborate pages as well. And the paper pretty much takes any water-based media. So kind of enjoying quick coloring on this paper is something that I would probably try to do more often. Okay, so next book I am going to grab is this one. And it's Cottage Dreams. The publisher is Top, again, the same publisher that also is publishing the Crystal Vogels books. They have quite a big line of coloring books, and I do like I do like some of the paper, weirdly, because I don't really like this paper, although it kind of almost feels nicer in these books, but I don't actually like that paper as much as the kind of a cheaper, possibly, paper. But this book is on kind of a glue, it's glue bound, and it's not even, bound at the back. So it essentially is like just like sitting like this. And it literally, the first page I started coloring here, the book fell apart immediately, which really, really annoyed me. I don't really mind my books getting a bit banged up, but they shouldn't really fall apart the first time I open them. And art here is by several artists, at least two. I know Ursula Schwab is one of the artists whose work I like. I can recognize her art right away, but there's also other artists here. Sometimes it says at the back Cordula Martens and Ursula Schwab. So there's two artists here, so you can tell right away which one is which. And there's some really cute kind of a, easy landscape, and the format is, really cute and small. This is Ursula Schwab. This is Ursula Schwab. I like her style. Her style is kind of interesting, and she has a kind of her own books as well. A lot kind of a nature and season themes books, and most of them would be kind of bigger, like 10 by 10 type of a size, or kind of in between. But there's this small, basically, I suspect it's kind of a 6 by 6-ish. Or a little bit more than 6 by 6, maybe 6.5 or 7 inches, but it's fairly small, yeah. And they're cute pages. Paper is good, falls apart right away. I'm not sure how if I'm going to keep hold on to it. Only page I've done here is this one, when I just felt like doing some really simple landscape, and it does not look like I did it. It just doesn't look like my page. I don't recognize it. It has something like went kind of weirdly wrong, and it didn't really work out as if, like it didn't feel mine. Pretty sure I used watercolor here, or at least watercolor pencils here as a base. And it's not bad as such. There's some pretty fun color variations and stuff, but yeah, it doesn't feel mine. And yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. The fact that it's falling apart like this is really annoying me. At the same time, I can't really give it away either, because who am I going to give a book that is literally breaking apart into pieces already, and will even further? So I don't know what to do with that book. Okay, so next one. This is, I think, the biggest one that I have left. The other ones are all really small. And this one is another Japanese books. It's part of that really popular series that has the Mouse Yuyuri's adventures and stuff like this in it. And I really like this specific one because I love bears, I love dogs, I love bears, I love foxes, so I love capybaras. But I really like that bear. So, and also I had seen the flip-throughs, and the art looked just very, very cute and fun, and had some kind of a funny moments. So I thought, like, okay, I will get this book. And I haven't really finished the page. The only thing I have here at the moment is this whip, which I will hopefully get to pretty soon. I just kind of created this sunset moment here, kind of. It's just pure watercolor, and I don't know, if I'm going to smooth it over or leave the watercolor effects the way they are. I haven't really decided yet. If I do smooth it over, I'll probably do it with chalk pastels. But the book is lovely. Really like it. So this is pretty much it. And it does take watercolor, as you could see from there. It did not go through. Here I can show you the other side, like nothing went through. And I was working in pretty wet. So highly recommended book. Portrait of the Mermaid by Sarah Burrier. Beautiful art. Really like it. Don't have too many pages here, but do have a couple. And weirdly, although, you know, it does have this really ornate, almost mandala-ish background often, I do enjoy working in this book. I do like how she draws people. All the mermaids look different. They have their own personality. They have different features. Often they are of different ethnicity. So really like that. So often I usually put down kind of a plain base of alcohol marker here, and then I work with pencils and gel pens and acrylic markers on top. And this is kind of regular Amazon paper. This is actually printed in UK, but it doesn't really bother me because I am genuinely just working here in the kind of on top of acrylic markers. I don't even try water-based markers here much. This is how I do. That's a base. That's not a finished page. This is a whip. That's a kind of alcohol marker base, and this is how I often put the base down. There's a little bit of blending, or kind of a little bit of color variations and shading down already, which, you know, makes my life a bit easier with pencils, or gives me idea, you know, what and where to put the shadows. So this one will be very easy to finish, you know. Like, look at the faces, all different, you know. There's different ethnicities, there's different expressions, there's different ages, and just love it. I really like how this one came out. And funnily, this super cheap paper, for some reason the pencils on top of alcohol markers works out really well for me here. Like, the faces look really nice, you know, the soft shading that I've done. It works really easily and nicely here, and the skin looks super smooth. So very, very happy with, you know, how they're coming out. This is just, you know, once again, shading down some on the face. And once again, I've done the kind of cooler areas and warmer areas. I haven't put that much down the, you know, darker areas and lighter areas, but, you know, cooler areas and lighter areas. And sometimes that helps me even more than putting down the, I don't know if you can see it, you know, from the back here, how, and that sometimes that can help more than putting down dark and light. This is the cover picture. There's more here. I know there's more here. At least one more that I've finished here. Oh yeah, that one I tried to kind of interesting face, or kind of a skin tone, kind of a grayish with pink highlights, and it came out fun. I really enjoy working in this book, and, you know, hopefully we'll keep working here for a long time to come. No rush, but I, you know, like to finish one of those portraits once in a while. They're really relaxing to do. And then this little book, Jane Austen, Color Me Jane Austen. Beautiful little book, a French flap cover. Paper is gorgeous, very smooth, very white, thick. And the art is also beautiful. I really, really like Jackie Oakley's work. She also illustrated the Bridgerton coloring book, the official one, and I like that one as well. Beautiful art. So I haven't, like, here I don't really go hugely in tone with coloring. I usually put down something simple and fast. You know, the small pages, it's kind of like easy win, something quick and relaxing. So this, I imagine, well, I decided it's Caroline Bingley from Pride and Prejudice. I used Marie's pencils pretty much exclusively, except some gel pens. That's all I used here. What else do I have here? But art is fun, and I, you know, like those little scenes and then little portraits. and objects, and you know, if I feel like doing a wallpaper, which I don't usually feel like, but occasionally, yeah. Some base that I just put down in case I feel like doing a wallpaper. I know I have more here. Not much, but I have some. Oh, I have this portrait of which I wasn't sure who it was, Mr. Darcy, Captain Wentworth, but hey, I just, you know, I don't remember the pencils I used, but the background and everything around him is done with Languor 1mm calligraphy gel pens. Just, you know, some blending and kind of a shading done with these as well. And I thought, you know, it kind of gives a cool effect and has this really vintagey colors and muted effect that really works with that style of a little medallion portrait. And this is just throwing down watercolors to test how they work on this paper, and they work perfectly. But paper doesn't even buckle much. It does a little bit, you know. It's never going to be, even watercolor paper is not going to be perfect after applying water to it. But yeah, works well. Tried if the salt effects worked here, but I didn't have enough, I don't think, moisture down to get the salt effects. But yeah, and there's acrylic brush marker and some gel pens, just for the fun of it. So that's it. And there's this book, which is by a Ukrainian artist who is called, I know her Instagram name, and the Instagram name is Moon Hunter, pretty sure. She has really interesting and cool artwork, very distinctive, very hers. And the paper in this book, it's a tiny book, but the paper is actual proper watercolor. It's not, you know, just a good thick paper. It's actual watercolor. You can see that. I don't know if you can see the texture. The print is very good quality, and I've just done, you know, a couple of pages here, but you know, watercolor of course moves like a dream here. It's absolutely gorgeous, but you have to kind of, you know, I don't know if they're still available, but you have to order them directly from her on Instagram, Moon Hunter. I really like her style, and it's of course not cheap with shipping and everything, but you know, I was happy to support a Ukrainian artist, so I wasn't particularly whining about the cost for this one. This is Roman Schmal, and it's actually, I think, shaded with Albert Dürer pencils, like on dry, but everything else, the basing was done, and the kind of the background and the effects that were done with Roman Schmal watercolors, which I love dearly. I think this might have been, it's not a Misty Morning, might have been Misty Morning mixed with something. It has this kind of a color splitting and granulating effect, which I really love. This one is, I think it's kind of abandoned. I went wrong way with it. I started and it, you know, kind of was going all right, and then I wasn't happy where it was going, and I never finished it. The cape is Kuretake, but no, actually no, I've used just regular watercolors here, you know, dropping them each other to get this mottled color effect. And you know, the face came out all right, but I'm still, you know, not sure if I'm going to go back to it, because I kind of messed up the hair. The color variations there just don't work for me. So I don't think I have any. Oh yeah, I have this one down here as well, and this is White Nights granulating watercolor and some Rosa watercolor. I think I used the White Nights granulating here in her hair. Rest of it is Rosa watercolor base, and then Polychromos shading and some acrylic markers. And I love this one as well. I think it's pretty. I like this effect here. You know, you can do like genuine beautiful watercolor effects here because it is watercolor. But it is, yeah, tiny. It's small. If you look at those, let's say this is now the mini Amazon book. We all know Reptiloids, and you know, those small kind of pocket versions of Amazon books. And this is kind of the size comparison. You know, those are longer. Amazon books are longer, but this book is a little bit wider. And it's genuinely beautiful. And one of the books I'm super happy with in my collection. And here's Reptiloids coloring book, Reptiloids 2. And one of the books I dearly love. This one is actually Japanese version, so I do basing here a lot with watercolor. So I usually work here, you know, base of watercolor or something, and then pencils on top. But this one is actually was based with just alcohol markers and color blend pencils on top. And I just adore those funny little characters. And they genuinely are characters with all the kind of funny expressions and personalities. And this is just a base. This is a whip. I just put kind of color areas down. It's not shaded yet. Well, it does have a little bit of watercolor kind of a shading, but it's not finished. Although, you know, I could declare it finished, but it doesn't feel finished to me yet. It needs a bit of a oomph. There's this one that I put watercolor in. Same story, not finished. I put some color variations in, but no, it needs to be properly shaded. This one also needs to be shaded. I think pretty sure, yeah, this is alcohol marker base. But the same story, needs shading. Yeah, I sometimes just, you know, kind of throw down loads of bases on these tiny ones. This was also alcohol markers base and then pencils on top. I like how the light effects came out here. I think they came out fun and interesting. And, you know, the alchemist and his little baby dragon. They're so cute. And the way this glow came out, I think it was pretty successful. Do I have any other pages here? Oh yes, I do, at least one. Yeah, and I have this aristocrat with the pet dragon biting its finger, and I think it's very funny. It's, once again, this is watercolor and pencils on top. And it says here, cheap foldable watercolor set and Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils for shading and some white Prisma. And then, of course, you know, there's some acrylic markers usually. So this one, and I have also the other Reptiloids book, which is just Reptiloids. This one was Reptiloids 2, and this is just Reptiloids. This one is now published in United Kingdom or Great Britain. And the paper, of course, yeah, is not great. But, you know, you can still work on it if you just use alcohol markers or possibly some water-based markers here for basing, and then just stick colored pencils on top. So this one was based with Sharpies and kind of a odd alcohol markers from my alcohol marker drawer, and then shaded with Prismacolor and Chroma Flow, and color blend. It was loads of kind of different pencils and some Sakura glaze. You can see on those Glock and his glasses, there's Sakura glaze, which, you know, kind of, I think it kind of adds to the page, and some white pit pen and stuff like this. So very happy with this page, except, well, it's kind of a drone. I didn't really realize that I should have extended the cloud, so the cloud looks like it's growing out from the trees. But I started my kind of a color area from here, so I should have extended the cloud there. But hey, it is what it is. By the time I had done it, it was too late. And this one, the fishing trip, also really, really cute. And once again, alcohol markers and pencils. And this one is, well, kind of roller skating, some sort of a, and this is also alcohol markers and pencils on top. I think it's the last page done in this book. I don't think I have anything kind of pre-based this book. I kind of like the images in this book even better than the ones in the second, because there's lot more images kind of in this portrait format, which I prefer. But I like the paper in the other book better. So yeah, I can work on both of them though. They're really, really nice. And now the last book for today is the Moomin coloring book, the mini version, the pocket Moomin coloring book. I don't have much done here. It's a really cute book, fantastic paper, and I love Moomins. I have this page done here. Moomin troll sad. The water, and I don't think I have much else done. I've drawn different, like I have obviously, I had water-based marker that I lose the cap of. So I was just putting it everywhere to use it up. Because it was nice color. I didn't want to just throw it away and, you know, let it to dry out. So I was just sticking it everywhere in this book. So there's loads of pages that have just random blue areas, you know. But water-based markers lay down really nice on this paper. It's kind of very smooth, a white paper that takes water-based markers really well, and they don't go through or anything. So, like, I've done this, you know, here and here, the full sky, and there's nothing through. And I really, you know, went kind of heavy and wet here with the water-based marker, and nothing went through. So really good paper. You know, kind of a pencil test here, how the pure pencil works, and it works very well. There's just some base here, which I don't think I'm going to do anything with, because I kind of went a bit wrong with it. This is sad Hemio once again, and I think that's it in this book. Okay, that's it for today. Hopefully you had some good time, so some interesting stuff, maybe something that caught your eye. Let me know if you want me to flip through anything. I will happily do it for you. Hope you had good time. If you like my pages and my work, please like and subscribe, comment, even share if you are inclined to do so. Have a lovely evening or morning or afternoon, whatever the time is in your corner of the world. Have a fantastic creative time, and bye bye.